Y'all, they got who shot Pac. Y'all sit down. Listen, Keith D has been arrested. They got who shot Pac. And listen, if anybody, Suge Knight might have paid for it or anybody else, y'all, I would be so worried right now because listen, after 27 years, I would have thought I got away with it too. But apparently they did not. But guess what? The police chief and the sheriff are also speaking out. I have the audio for you guys to listen to about why he's the only one getting arrested when they do not believe that he was the mastermind, he was the ringleader. Are y'all ready to get into this? I'm just saying, if anybody paid for this to happen, or you know of anybody that paid for Pac and Biggie to go down, let me know in the comments who you think should be worried. I'm just saying, where's Suge Knight? Because I know a lot of people point the finger at an East Coast gentleman, but honestly, if that was me, I would be pointing the finger at Suge Knight because at the end of the day, he had the most to gain. And don't forget, the Pac was rumored to be leaving his contract, I think, with Death Row. They were in a power struggle. Pac was the biggest one on there. And Suge Knight has shown he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Remember when he actually ran over somebody at a filming and thought he was going to get away with it? Yeah. I did too. Y'all, let's get into this. What y'all want to hear first? What the sheriff had to say? All right, let's go. They got who shot Pac. Y'all, I know a lot of people are shook right now. 27 years. But the thing is, Keith have been giving interviews all over social media saying this person paid him $1 million, this person paid him $1 million. I heard the rumors that he's been saying that like Puff paid $1 million, but like, y'all, let's be real. I don't believe him. Why? Because this is my theory. It's my opinion. I think Suge paid him. Suge had the most to gain. What? Puffy paid? Suge had the most to gain, right? He had the most to gain. He was there when it happened. They had like left the security and the shooters. And not only that, doesn't that seem like it's a Suge Knight thing to do, right? You tell him like, yo, go on interviews and say this other person paid you. I'm just saying, it seems like a Suge Knight thing to do. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my theory and who you think actually might need to be worried. Okay, let's go on, right? Let's listen to this, okay?
Steve, can you talk about the murder charge if he is not the one believed?
This is the LAPD.
Yes, well, under Nevada law, and this is the law in most states in this country, you can be charged with a crime whether you're directly involved or whether you're an aid or an abettor.
Of course.
We have an aiding and abetting statute, which provides that if you help somebody commit a crime, you can be equally as guilty. The best example is two guys that agree to commit a bank robbery. And one of them goes into the bank with a gun and actually commits the robbery.
No, he's not giving us criminal 101.
Is the getaway driver. Never went in the bank, but he assisted the guy that went in the bank. So he's equally guilty. That is one of the theories in this case as well. Last question.
Do investigators believe that Davis was the only person behind the plan to kill Tupac, or was he one of multiple people who came up with this plan?
It's important.
I think the best way to characterize that is Dwayne Davis was the shot caller for this group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out.
So he's the orchestrator, but he wasn't the shooter.
We know that he obtained it from a close associate. Now a lot of the actual details of who specifically, all that come out of trial, but he obtained it from a close associate.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Okay. So he said that he's the only one facing charges because he is the last person alive. So he is the orchestrator. He was the shot caller. They're not saying necessarily that he was the actual trigger person, but he is the only one left alive. So he's getting all those charges. Baby, he actually should have just sat there and ate his food because the police are saying that he gave so many interviews, giving so all over YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, giving so much information that synced up with what the police were thinking. And then the police did their own investigation, went to his house and found the memorabilia. How do you get away with something after 27 years? You get away with it. Then you go and you keep souvenirs in your house. me thinks he wanted to go to jail. Anyway, they're saying Dwayne Keith D. Davis was charged with the murking of Tupac Shakur in 1996 drive-by bang bang, right? Yes, I know. I'm trying to avoid any strikes. Anyway, they said one of the last living witnesses to the fatal drive-by shooting of rapper Tupac Shakur in Las Vegas has been charged with his long unresolved 1996 murking. Law enforcement officials announced Friday that imagine being 60 years old, Dwayne Keith D. Davis is charged with one count of murder. There goes. With the use of a weapon with a gang. They were saying he's going to get more because he was throwing up gang tags. I do want to say this though. How are you 60 years old doing all these interviews and you get caught? That means you literally are going to die in prison. The long-awaited break, this is important, comes in a case that has frustrated investigators and fascinated the public ever since the hip-hop icon was tragically taken from the Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago. The Nevada grand jury indicated Davis in the killing. Prosecutors revealed in a court Friday morning. CBS Las Vegas affiliate KLAS confirmed news of the incident, which was first reported by the AP. How did the AP get the jump on this? They said many people who did not believe that the murking of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department. I'm here to tell you that is simply not the case. That's what Sheriff Kevin McMahill said in a news conference. I played you a little bit about the news conference. Let me just say this. Let me revise this. He said many people who did not believe that Tupac's death would be solved. How about many people prayed Tupac's death would not be solved? Anyway, they said our goal was always to hold those responsible for Pac's violent murking accountable. They said this case has been reviewed by our homicide team and our homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades, and our persistence in this investigation has paid off. It is persistence, but it's also Keith D's idiocy that you literally got away with literally the crime of the century, and you came back to brag and implicate other people. But honestly, let me know in the comments who you think got more to be worried about. Who do you think actually did? I've been reading a lot of conspiracy theories. Who do you think is worried right now? Anyway, he described Keith D as the leader and shot caller of the South Side Compton Crips. Hold on, let me see if Suge Knight's a Crip. Okay, I know what y'all been screaming at me. He a blood, which makes me think, now is Suge Knight the most, he had the most to gain. And there have been times when something's been ordered for them to work across lines, because sometimes the Crips have come together to work. I don't know on this one. Who do you think it is? Anyway, with the Southside Compton Crips, and said the groups have been involved in an ongoing feud. Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DiGiamarco said the grand jury has been seated in the case for several months, describing Davis as the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the murking. The charges were revealed hours after he was arrested Friday morning. He was out there on Friday taking a walk near his home. He was keeping it fit, getting his steps in, looking at his Fitbit. 8,336, almost there. Literally, the way they described this, it was like the real life ending to Ice Cube's Today Was a Good Day, where he's finally walking around his home and you see like the helicopter and everybody jumps on him. Anyway, right? This is interesting. Davis has been known to investigators and has also admitted in interviews, did he go on Adam 22, No Jumper, or Vlad? Y'all, I would just say, don't nobody go on Vlad. He is the ops. He always was. Either that or they are the favorite channel that the feds watch. Anyway, he's been known to investigators and also admitted in interviews in his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac where the bang bang erupted during September 1996 drive-by. The arrest comes 2 months after Las Vegas police raided his wife's home in Henderson on July 17th. Documents said police were looking for items concerning the murking of Tupac, so he knew this was coming. This really was the end of Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Police reported collecting multiple computers, a cell phone, a hard drive, Vibe magazine that featured Pac, several .40 caliber bullets, 2 tubs containing photographs, and a copy of Davis's 2019 tell-all memoir. I do want to know though, what's the actual evidence? In the book, Davis said he broke his silence over Pac's murking in 2010 during a closed-door meeting with federal and local authorities. At the time, he was 46 and facing life in prison on charges when he agreed to speak with authorities. They promised they would shred the indictment and stop the grand jury if I helped them out. He described himself as one of the last living witnesses to the shooting. So if that's the case, then how did they break a plea deal? Because plea deals are ironclad, unless he didn't have a good lawyer and he didn't know what he was signing. And they were like, no, well, think about it. But after 30 years, everything expires. KLS reports it was unclear Friday why the case was suddenly moving ahead after more than 2 decades, so they clearly got some new information. Las Vegas police previously said in a 2018 interview that Davis gave to BET prompted them to review the case. Davis admitted publicly in a 2018 interview to being inside the Cadillac during the attack and implicated his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, as one of the people in the back seat where the shots were let out. He said, when we pulled up, I was in the front seat, right? And happened to see my friend Suge. You said the shots came from the back, the interviewer said, before asking Davis, who shot Pac, right? And he said, going to keep it for I'm going to keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro. Way to keep the pro. Who did it? The only person sitting in back seat, but it's a code. Okay, bro. Anyway, Pac was 25, as you guys know. Wow, so young. When he was taken in a drive-by near the Las Vegas Strip on September 7th, 1996. Yo, RIP. The anniversary just passed. The rapper was in a BMW driven by Death Row Records founder Marion Suge Knight. I think listen, he had the most to gain. Pac was trying to leave. Suge has been in some grimy stuff. Like, let's be real. Anyway, right? They were waiting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them. Fire erupted. Pac was shot multiple times. But interestingly enough, Suge didn't get hit once. And Suge at that time was 4 times as big as Tupac. How are you 4 times as big, taking up most of the thing, and not one goes into you? The blank happened shortly after a casino brawl early in the evening involving Anderson, Shakur, and others. Listen, we all knew Pac was always wild out. He denied any involvement in the Shakur shooting. He died 2 years later in a shooting in Compton. They're saying Pac's death came as his 4th solo album, All Eyes on Me, had 5 million copies sold. He was Grammy nominated. I think he was dating Quincy Jones' daughter, not Rashida, but I think Khadijah. Is that his other daughter's name? Not Rashida, but the other one. He was feuding at the time with Biggie Smalls, also known as Notorious. Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Okay, let me stop. Oh, shout out to Bone Thugs. You know what? I think Crazy Bone has some like bleeding in his lungs or something. I hope he pulls through. Anyway, Greg Kading, a retired Los Angeles police officer detective who spent years investigating the Shakur murking and wrote a book about it, said he would not be surprised by Davis' indictment and arrest. He said it's so long overdue. People have been yearning for him to be arrested for a long time. It's never been unsolved in our minds. It's been unprosecuted. But he made a plea deal to never be indicted over this. So what's really going on? Does this mean that the police actually knew for a while and they knew it was an informant? Anyway, wait, that means that he's talking about how is he the code of the streets, but he took a plea deal? That means you've been an informant. Anyway, let's get through this. Kading also said he talked to Las Vegas police detective about the case, including after the SWAT raid in July in the home on Henderson. The former Los Angeles Police Department police detective said he believed the investigation gained new momentum in recent years following Davis's public descriptions of his role in the murking, including his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend. He says it's those events that have given Las Vegas the ammunition and leverage to move forward. Prior to Keith D's public declarations, the case was unprosecutable and as they stood. He put himself squarely in the middle of the conspiracy. He had acquired the bang bang. He had given the bang bang to the shooter, and he had been present in the vehicle when they hunted down and located Pac and Suge. He noted that Davis is the last living person among the 4 who were in the vehicle from which the shots came from. The other people were Davis's nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, Terrence Bubble Up Brown, and DeAndre Freaky Smith. It's a concerted effort of conspirators, adding he believed because the blank was premeditated, Davis could face first-degree murder charge. They said all the direct conspirators or participants are all gone. Keith D is the last man standing among the individuals. Y'all, listen, who do you think? Who do you think's worried? Who do you think's panicking? Who do you think that Keith D is going to be up there on the stand singing like a canary? I don't know. I know it's like the kryptonite, but something tells me. Nothing tells me. I'm just making a guess. It was Suge. Hit me up with your best guess in the comments on who you think should really be worried about this. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.